It's a BumbleKast Mini, sponsored by Boomba Broadcast.
Let's stomp on this one. Bean the Dynamite enters our reality, or at least one where Bean wasn't already a known video game character. How does the world and each country's government react? With terror.
Well, Bean doesn't necessarily immediately garner attention. Who am I kidding? He blows up the first thing that causes him to jitter. And the world is immediately on edge of this strange bipedal woodpecker that can summon explosives from the beyond and who has non sequiturs for every other thought. Kind of worry about going into each country's immediate reaction, because that feels like that'd get real political real fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to make those kinds of jokes here on the BumbleKast.
Maybe he gets a gig in Hollywood as a pyrotechnics expert.
I don't know about that.
Maybe he
offered him the gig, and they say, would you like a job in controlled explosives? And he goes, controlled, controlled.
Good point.
Control, he says. Ooh.
Maybe he just shows up. He's not officially there. He just shows up. Because he's
leans over Spielberg's shoulder. That wasn't bad, but let me add some razzle dazzle.
Boom. That's what you need. Always could use some Bean's form of razzle dazzle. Need that in my life. Also, I'm being told that he's not a duck, he's a dynamite. And that's true. He's a woodpecker, really. Apparently, which is odd because it's the game.
He am, and that's all that he am.
Yeah, I don't know. He's about as much of a duck as Starline is. So, how do you feel about your original characters, both from Archie and IDW, being used in fan-made content?
I'm glad they're enjoyed that much, and they get that kind of longevity and new life. I think the worst thing that a OC in official media can do is just be ignored.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if they don't resonate at all, it's like, oh no, what did we do wrong? But if they are embraced, and if they're incorporated, and if they're, reinterpreted and hilariously misinterpreted, that still means they're garnering attention. They're still getting some amount of feedback, and that's good.
Yes. Use them. Put them in the fan-made content, because that's awesome. Fan-made content is awesome, so keep doing that. If another classic-based comic was being made for IDW, whether another one-off or a full new series, would it be possible for the Battle Cuckoo Empire to return, and would they still be connected to the Babylonians?
Maybe, and less maybe. I am a big fan of the Battlebird Armada. I want to see them back. I think they're cool villains. I don't know if we would make the connection with the Babylonians again. I don't know if I want necessarily that link to be made so that they're saddled with the same backstory and history, or maybe that would be an idea that Sega is cool with and they want to see it revived. I don't know. First we got to get the Battlebirds flying again.
That's right. If the Battle Cuckoos came back in modern or classic continuity, would Speedy have the wings, or to use a jetpack/flight harness like in the Archie comics?
I imagine he'd have some kind of flight harness thingy, maybe not necessarily the big old eggshell thing that he had, but something akin to that. Like, he already upgraded once in the game where he had those big old mechanical arms and what looked like a jetpack. Maybe the sprite's super small. It's hard to see. But I imagine that's kind of the running theme with the Battlebirds, is they have a lot of tech, and I don't know if it's supposed to be full-on cybernetics or like exoskeletal suits, but they do employ a lot of tech that would allow them to fly and do stuff. Birds with wings in Sonic doesn't seem to be a thing, which is weird, but that's what we got.
Flicky would like to have a word with you.
Flicky isn't a bird. Flicky is a small animal.
What is a bird?
Like jet or wave or storm.
I mean, what is a bird? Like a normal bird?
Probably like a seagull or something. That isn't a small animal.
That's the definition of a small animal. All right,
No.
maybe.
Small animal is a whole subset of creatures.
Okay, birds are not small animals. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I trust. This is why I trust Ian Flynn. Ian Flynn says flickies are not birds. More at 11. If Sonic, Gun, or any other good guy with a lot of money were to offer to hire Fang to get Chaos Emeralds for money, would he take up the offer? And if he did, would he honor it and not backstab his client?
I imagine he would, yeah.
Sonic has a lot of money?
I don't know. Somebody's been secretly handling all the endorsement deals for him, and he's got a nest egg he didn't even know about.
Thanks, Tails.
But I don't know if he would like accepting a job from Sonic, but I don't think he would really care if the money was right.
If the money were real, if the money existed.
The quantum state of birds and money in the Sonic universe.
Was the Sonic X comic series meant to end as abruptly as it did, or was there a plan to properly conclude it with one last battle with the Sonic X organization? Also, would Chris have ever learned the truth of El Gran Gordo?
The ending was planned to a degree. We were running into a lot of restrictions with approvals. The show had been done for a bit. And while we still had a few fun stories to tell, we were kind of done with the series. It was kind of running its course.
Mm-hmm.
So with the idea to bring in Sonic Universe and just shift the resources into a sister series, it's like, you know what? Sonic X has had a good run. Let's wrap her up and use that as the bridging device into Universe so that we don't lose any readership, and give it a proper farewell and have fun with it. And that was really the main thing with Sonic X, is just have fun with it. As a goofy book, I miss that book. So yeah, we intended it for it to end on 40. We did. That was intentional. We could have gone further. We probably could have hit 50 issues. I'm sure we could have come up with something, but it was time. It was time to wrap it up. Time to finish her off. As for Chris learning the truth about El Gran Gordo, I can't remember if we had one more Gran Gordo story on the shelf being considered. It's been a long time since I've had to think about that. I don't think so, because that's the joke, Or wait a minute. Now I have this vague recollection of there was one more idea for a Gran Gordo story, and Gran Gordo and Chris team up. He's unmasked as Eggman, but then ultimately Chris thinks that it was a fake out. Or am I thinking of the second arc? It's been so long. I don't remember now.
I gotta be honest. Of all the Sonic comics, the Sonic X book is the one I have not read. But I'm being told that was new. And also people are surprised. El Gran Gordo is Eggman?
You track down Sonic X if you can. If you like all of our Sonic Boom nonsense, you'd enjoy the Sonic X book.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like Sonic X before Sonic X. But it's also strange because it's like the tone of the book and the tone of the show are not quite the same, and the comic
completely different.
And the comic went completely off the rails from the show. It seemed like, from what I've seen,
the comic was stuck in a certain point in season 2's continuity. And we couldn't go any further.
Well, that's great.
And we started running into so many notes and restrictions on what we could and couldn't do with the property. We just started being nuts with it. And that made it distinct from the mainline book. The mainline book was dramatic and dark and melodramatic and adventurous. And Sonic X was just like, you know what? We're just going to be funny.
Let's just do something goofy. Yeah, I should go back to it. Is Gemerald considered a completely new robot or a repaired and repainted Emerald? I personally like to imagine that he was a repaired Emerald, but Eggman modified him so much that it's hard to tell if he can still be considered the same Gizoid.
I think it's still up for debate. That probably needs to be finalized internally, or I need to ask. But my understanding is that Gemerald is not Emerald, but like a successor, like almost like his brother, cousin, maybe. He's not Emerald. Emerald died. Emerald has ceased to be. He has joined the choir invisible. Gemerald is his own robot.
Not Emerald, but an incredible simulation. Due to the convenient crossover plot stuff, Ben Tennyson, original continuity, not the reboot, meets Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Vector, Bean, and Chaos. His Omnitrix scans each one of them, allowing him to turn into them and use their powers. What names does he give each transformation?
Okay.
I didn't even know there was a Ben 10 reboot. I didn't even know.
There's a few continuities, if I'm not mistaken.
There really? Oh, that's odd.
Like, I think there's a regular
5
series.
Ben 10 series. What?
Yeah.
What?
Like, I think there's the original. I think there's a time skip where they're all older, and there's at least one full stylistic reboot.
3 separate continuities. What?
Yeah. Okay.
What?
I've not followed Ben 10, so I'm not super.
Obviously, I know very little about it. This is just the first time I'm learning. Like, I guess Ben 10 lore goes deep, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Gosh, all I remember about Ben 10 is stocking the toys of it at Walgreens back in 2008 when I was working at the store. That's all I remember.
Like, what I've briefly been in contact with seems really cool, and it's a great premise. It's just I didn't get on the wagon at the beginning, and now I'm very far behind. It's like, where do you even start? But core thing here is the Omnitrix has scanned these particular characters. They give Ben a transformation that will give him the signature ability of those characters, and it comes with some kind of punny name.
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, in the chat right now, there's a example. Goomba Broadcast has provided an example with some names on it.
For some of these, I'm sorely tempted to just trot out the old roboticized master names. Like Tailwind or Brass Knuckles or Solid Knuckles are just too good to give up.
You wouldn't call Tails Butt Copter?
No.
Darn.
I would not.
Why not?
You can't make me.
I mean, I could if I were actually CEO of Sega.
Bean, I'm going to steal a gag from My Hero Academia and say Dynamite, spelled M-I-G-H-T.
Okay.
Because that's great.
Yes.
Vector, I feel like I need to find a really good, but like inside baseball musical term that would go on with like a vector line, but within a musical connotation. Or maybe just be simple and call him Downbeat Beatdown.
Rock Croc?
Yeah, that could work.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I like that one.
Sonic, I can see like Sonic Boom, Sonic Rush. I mean, I know there's tons of other things, but they could work for him.
Needle Mouse. There you go.
Yeah. Deep cut.
Or just Blue Streak. Something like that. Blue Goo. Blue Goop.
Chaos.
Water Boy.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, no. But no, you did it, so it's there.
That's in the world now.
Get inspired by Sonic. Big Drip.
Big Drip. There you go. That's a good one, too.
Very stylish transformation so that you get multiple inferences.
Yeah. I'm being told that Big Drip would absolutely be a Ben 10 alien name.
Yeah? All right. Well, then we'll go with that then.
Toy Lord, if you want these questions answered, you gotta buy your own mini, buddy. I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm not gonna hijack Goomba's broadcast mini for you. Trying to sneak in the line there. I see what you're doing. Oh, Tails is home alone at the Thorndyke Mansion on Christmas Eve, and the wet bandits from the first 2 Home Alone movies are planning to rob the place that night. What traps does Tails set, and how many of them should but won't kill Harry and Marv?
Oh, man. See, here's the thing. Tails isn't some child cobbling together rudimentary Tom and Jerry traps. Tails is going to have something that is like laser focused, quite literally, for precision. He's only going to need 1 trap, and then it's done. They are caught. Like, he's got some kind of stasis field built out of the toaster, the TV, and some gizmo that Chuck had out in the garage. The only reason they aren't caught the minute they walk through the door is he has to find time to assemble the thing. And then, he doesn't want to bother anybody on Christmas. It's Christmas, for pity's sake. But he can't let these guys run around terrorizing the neighborhood. So in the stasis field, they all sit down on the couch and they watch that movie.
That movie. That one?
You filthy animal. That one.
Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Which movie? Oh, that one. Okay, yes. If the remote robot / Mecha Tails from Tails Adventure were to return in IDW Comics, would it be treated as a full character, such as Teacup from... Teacup? Wow, I completely, botched reading this entire question. I'm just going to start over.
What up, wop, wop, wop.
Tails is home alone... Oh, no. Okay. Maybe I'm done after this one, too. If the remote robot / Mecha Tails from Tails Adventure were to return in the IDW comics, would it be treated as a full character such as T-Pup from the Archie comics, or would it simply be another one of Tails' devices?
I feel like it would be a character, maybe not like a full-fledged walkie-talkie character, but come on, it's like a little robot doggo. You can't just let that be in the side somewhere. You gotta pet the doggo. You gotta play with the doggo. You gotta interact with the doggo. Like, I don't know if it needs to have a full-on personality like Omo Chow, but still it should be like at least a relatable companion, like something to Cheese's level at the very least.
All right. If you were to write a new Sonic Storybook series game, what would you base it around? Oh, we've done this one a couple times.
Yeah, I think in the past, we settled on Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz would be a good one that would be pretty easy. So, yeah. There's a few other ones, though.
Like, I think in the previous episode, we talked about Treasure Island and how it's a fun story, but would that even work?
It would be hard to do. But, Pride and Prejudice. Pride, Prejudice, and Knuckles. We need to have that. I don't know who did that one originally, but they're a genius, and I appreciate them.
I think we also talked about just finding a number of Greek and Roman myths and stitching those together.
Yeah, that's kind of the cheap, easy way out, but still, it's certainly doable.
Oh, and Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did say Robin Hood. Yeah, Robin Hood would be a good one too. Yeah, go back and check the master list and see if you can find some of the other answers and questions. We definitely went into the Wizard of Oz one pretty deep. So that was fun. In Knuckles Chaotix, do you believe that Heavy and Bomb were really trying to help the heroes get the Chaos Rings and defeat Robotnik? Or is it true they were just trying to slow them down?
I like to think that they were trying to help. Rebellious robots are a common occurrence in the series.
It would not be the first time. Well, actually, it might have been the first time, but it would not be the last.
Now, whether or not they were actually good at it could be a source of great hilarity. Heavy really wants to help out, except he's literally holding them back. Bomb really is excitable and wants to help out, but boom. Okay, well, thanks. See you around.
I kind of liked how they were in the Chaotix special in the comics. So I would have liked to see more of that. But, I mean, obviously, for some reason, their designs were never consistent, which is very strange because they're literally right there in the game. It's like, come on, guys. Like, your references, they're right there. I don't know, man. Things were weird back in those days. Consistency just wasn't a thing. Looking at the Great Battle Lord and Speedy's relationship in the pre-boot Archie comics, would Speedy have eventually betrayed his father, or would the Great Battle Lord eventually respect Speedy as both the next in line as leader of the Armada and as his son?
It's been a while since I wrote that, but I think that deep down the Battlelord did care for Speedy in the very, very least as part of the bloodline, as his successor. You know, this is my boy. This is my lineage. And darn it, he's better than all of you because of that. And while I think Speedy might, after a great deal of time, see that the whole conquer the world thing isn't necessarily the best route for his people to go in, I don't think he would ever full on betray the Battlelord. I think he is still devoted to the Armada and the cause and his proud lineage. I just think maybe he would back off on the whole subjugation of everyone else thing a little bit.
Well, where's the fun in that?
Well, the character arc that would take place over years and multiple conflicts and cool battle sequences and delicious angst.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we have reached the end of this episode.
Yes, thank you so much to Goomba Broadcast for sponsoring this BumbleKast Mini. If you want one of your own, head over to patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or become a YouTube member.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.